getting some kind of...
Not a bad start. You're on the line. Oh, harsh.
This is Pointful, tripping over the line. I'm Joshua De Laurentiis, and I'm here with my brother.
Matthew.
And we're just playing some 501. And, let's see how we go. Just warming up here, we're probably not, like, when I say warming up, I mean, it's not like we'll warm up and then all of a sudden it's 180. Yeah. Have you even got one, Matthew?
No, I have not.
I think I've definitely gotten at least one or two. I know I have, but it's like the thing of like when I was just practicing at home, does it count? Yeah. I think it doesn't. I think you need to have it, while we're filming, which is what we're doing right now. What do you got for me, Matty?
Oh, I'm just thinking about the casualness of this informal situation in which we find ourselves at the moment, which I quite like.
What do you're wearing like a collared shirt and jeans, and I'm wearing a t-shirt with a pocket on it.
I mean, the pockets are going. I think that's been a thing over the years. I mean, the pockets from t-shirts have disappeared.
I still like it though, because you can remember the olden days when you'd have the like a physicist, right? They had the little pens in their top pocket. You can put things in pockets. It's handy.
That's what pockets are for. But I think they're changing fashions and changing tastes. Is like the pockets are going from t-shirts, and there's a certain amount of formality that I think or what's acceptable, should we say, in a formal setting. So that sort of that.
Yeah, thanks for not talking about that 5 that I just got there. Thanks, Matty. As you were saying,
all I have to do is wait and then let you bring it up, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's simple stuff.
But it's more about just changing fashion, changing taste, but also changing what is acceptable in terms of formal wear.
Yeah,
I'm wearing a shirt.
You were talking about ties before, Matty.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, is this what we're getting to?
This is where
because we brought it up just like by the just a sideline, but I assume that's what you're like hinting at, like just
hint away. But no, it was more about this idea that in formal settings, the lack of the tie is more acceptable. You can turn up to work, you can turn up to your basic job. And if it does, you can not be wearing a tie. I think that's a good thing. I like there's a casualness, I think, that it's quite beneficial. Like you don't need to have a tie in all the formal settings.
It's kind of like it's almost gone are the days where you must wear this to a certain thing. So is there less judgment or something like that? I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean it's more about like how does a tie enhance? Make your job. How are you better at your job?
No, let's go with more better. I like more better. How are you more better at your job when you're wearing a tie?
When you're wearing a tie, I don't think you necessarily need one. I think it's again. You're still formal, you're still acting professionally, but just by putting on a tie doesn't make you a professional person.
Also, I've got on another video of ours, which, I don't know how to put links there, but maybe I will here. I don't know. I told Matthew this big story about how I work through all these projects to be able to make a tie. But later in a later year, this was in high school, by the way, but a later years in high school, I found a tie that I really wanted to get,
Right. Was it particularly like, did you have a formal occasion to go to? Was that why you needed this particular time?
It was big day out, the music festival. I think the main thing was that I was like with my mum shopping for like a school uniform attire, and it was the only thing that wasn't school uniform in this place. It was a Daffy Duck tie, all right? I just thought it was cute, whatever. But also, the main thing was, I think it was like $15 or something, so I could actually get it.
Yeah, I mean, well, what is that something about it? Like the tie is like, can you sort of enhance your appearance? Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think I enhanced my appearance with a Daffy Duck tie, but it was a choice. It was a choice,
and it showed you could have not worn the tie. But it's also like, is it the enhancement, or is it just that a bit of pizzazz, a bit of personality coming through?
But it's kind of like it used to be a requirement. So like if you went to a funeral, or like is in you
wedding,
or a wedding, that like is in, or you went to these specific things, there was an understanding that everyone would show up like in
a suit and tie.
Yeah, and in that particular. So that's definitely. I mean, it's less so now. Like I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I've seen people in just like a short sleeve, like a shirt, like a casual shirt at weddings many, many times. And it's not a problem and no one's complaining about it. But
no, but also when, whether it's a wedding or a formal occasion, I mean, the changing nature of fashion. But I'm just thinking more in terms of like, that's like an occasion event, but also like just everyday wear going to work. When the expectation of wearing a tie is clipped it in very nice. The expectation of wearing a tie, and I don't know. Look, I'm not a corporate guy, but I understand that corporations exist.
Yeah, what your tie history, Matthew? I'm trying to remember. Like, apart from a bow tie, I've seen you wear a bow tie a couple of times. Or like a bolo. Is a bolo tie? No, bow tie. I've definitely seen.
I've never worn a bolo. A bolo is a tie. I don't think it. I've never been on an occasion where a bolo has been my kind of thing, but I've definitely worn a bow tie, and because
not a huge tie guy.
Not necessarily. But I wear a tie because it's expected of me to wear a tie, turning up to work where it's a formal setting. I'm meant to meet people at a business level, and I don't know, if you didn't have a tie, I guess you wouldn't be taken seriously, which I think is changing. But it still allows people to show some personality, like.
Sometimes to their own detriment. Nice one. So I was being quiet there because it was like I wanted to go like 140, or the classic, something like that.
81,
but still,
81 is a classic for me. Thank you very much.
81 ain't bad. No, actually, what a classic is for Matthew here is don't whatever else, 2 other darts that went somewhere. It could be 120, we don't know, and then 25. Like these singles, the classic.
Random. Ooh.
Oh, it's kind of tough.
Like all the triples to get.
Either of the other ones, yeah. Well, take what you can get.
Absolutely. Let's speak about the ability to express yourself express your personality, express your individuality, without not so much not rocking the boat, but looking at showing that you are a person, an important member of the team. You want to stand out, but you don't want to take away from anyone else. So it's like you can stand out without taking away from other people's ability to express themselves individually.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, it's just a tie, right? So as in, like, as in, I actually like ties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've got a bunch. I wear them almost never, but for the right occasion, I'm like, but I feel like now it is a big statement. Like if I wore if I was like an entry level position in like some kind of corporate job, right?
Yes.
I feel like if I showed up on day one wearing like a suit and tie, like people would be like, who is this psycho? You know what I mean? Like it's I'm working in the mailroom and I'm going to work my way all the way up to the top, and greed is good.
Here's my card.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, so if the tie is, well, it's not gone. Like
No,
people are still using it. Like people still wear them. People still use them. Let's just leave that one alone for now. But how does one? So even in corporate environments now, it's not that you can show up in. I mean, depending, it's not Silicon Valley. Like showing up in a hoodie and just like crappy jeans. Like, you've still got to make some kind of effort. But how do we show that little, like, because a tie was a very low key way of going, I'm having a bit of fun here. I'm gonna wear 2 colors of plaid.
Like certainly, I brought it back nicely there. Look, I just think in the end, it's while fashions change and while people evolve, there's still a place for the humble tie, um, to be worn. So you can sort of look. I mean, part of what I'm thinking is you can you can wear a tie or not wear a tie. I think we're almost at the stage where you're talking about it's making a statement, but maybe it allows you to not make a statement. Like you can turn up, you wear a tie, you don't wear a tie. Either way, you're expressing your individuality, and then the gradations of that allows you to have that sort of conversation. Like not so much a conversation, but allows you to stand out as someone who's part of the team, but an individual part of the team.
Oh dear. Got a bit caught up in your summary there, Matthew. I was like, you know what? That sounds very reasonable. And then I'm like, oh, I just threw 3 darts and they were terrible. It's.
I saw three darts. They weren't so bad. So
I mean, this is back to the classic. I believe you got an 81 earlier. Did you get an 81 earlier? Yeah. So it is a classic score for this guy. Okay.
oof.
Close.
I was close. It was very close. That was.
Oh, so, like I've heard, like not linguists, but like people say you shouldn't say very. You should use the correct. Like as in I'm fine with very because I believe we don't want to flex the vocab, Matty.
No, it's.
Like very is just like it's very good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was terrible darting.
I don't want to I don't know like how salubrious. It's kind of. Wait, what does salubrious mean again?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, if you know what salubrious means, let us know. We're trying to avoid Googling recently. Yeah, so we could have Googled when did ties go away? No, you were talking about the it was like a talk show host stopped wearing ties or something.
Some of them did. Like some of them do, some of them don't. Certainly some of the late night hosts are moving away from the tie wearing.
Do you don a tie?
I think you might.
Yeah.
You can we doff a cap.
You doff a cap.
I think you might.
How many ties do you own, Matthew?
Um, I've got a few actually. Um, bow ties are hard to get hold of.
Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you, I've got one bow tie, and it's already tied.
Does it
So
sting?
isn't no, it's a nice. What when I say it's a nice bow tie, like, do I have to? So I did a show one time where it was a Christmas show. I was doing like the crooner thing, right?
Yeah.
And so as a joke, I like, you know how they at the end of the night they've got their little whiskey or whatever and they're singing on stage. They've got their undone bow. I had my undone bow tie with it tied up on this side, little hook on the other side. I don't know if anyone got it, but you know, I get to share the story with you now. And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. The wrong double.
But you got a few.
I do have a few, and then that was a terrible one. I find, amongst other things, with the variation in shirts, it might come as that if you've got some coloured shirts, you need to match the tie with the shirt.
I split the difference. Yeah, I got given I was told it's quite fashionable at the time. It was kind of like a greenish, green plaid kind of shirt. It was a nicely fitted shirt.
Yeah,
But also the tie was the exact same material and pattern as the
right.
thing.
And that like Zach Braff with the.
I really don't know, but I mean, it's like I was told it was this. Oh, it's quite fashionable at the moment.
Right.
But I knew in my as in, so I never wore the two things together because I knew for whatever reason I was convinced.
Yes.
So I never wore it
Yes.
because I knew that it was making too much of a statement. I think the statement was that I'm a slave to fashion, as in of the whims of fashion, the winds of fashion.
Whimsical fashions.
Oh, thank goodness.
Very nice. Well
There
done.
we go. See, look, all it took was us realizing that how many ways can we say whims? There's whims, whimsy,
Whimsical.
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 Anyway, this is Pointful tripping over the line. See you next time.